one. And one of the big questions now that you can't evade is what is it with the IOC and their affinity for authoritarian nations? There will be an Olympics, a Summer Olympics in 2028 in Los Angeles. It will have been since 2002 when the Winter Games were in Salt Lake, since there has been an Olympics on American soil, and yet American television is the single greatest source of revenue for the IOC. Many IOC delegates remain ticked off at the U.S. because a free press blew the cover off the Salt Lake bidding scandal. Mitt Romney had to come in and set the thing straight. The whole thing was up in the air, the whole thing might have fallen apart. They have long memories about this stuff, and the IOC and many of those delegates act in a high-handed way. And in that sense, you can see where the affinity for authoritarian nations comes in.
I have another acronym for you. It's not the IOC.
Yeah.
It's the NBA. I have to believe there are some guys holding their breath watching this, because if this is sufficient grounds for there to be a diplomatic boycott, then what does it say about the NBA doing business in China?
The NBA is up to its neck in China. China is a huge sports market. Basketball is especially popular there. But they will put up with not even the slightest criticism. They reject it out of hand, and when they can, some of it may be just saber-rattling, like saying today that the U.S. will pay the price for their wrongdoings, but to the extent that they can, they exact a price. I'm repeating myself here because I've said it before to you and others on CNN, but back a couple of years ago when Daryl Morey, then the GM of the Houston Rockets, tweeted, "Stand with Hong Kong," Rockets games were suddenly off the air for an extended period in China, and the Rockets are one of the most popular teams there because Yao Ming was the first big Chinese star in the NBA. More recently, Enes Kanter, who grew up in Turkey, so he knows what authorities... Yeah, Celtics. He's a Turk. He spoke out against China. Same thing. Celtic games like that, gone. I guarantee you that the feed of this conversation is gone in China right now.
Maybe the U.S. should stop having 80% of the goods we use come from China. Well, that's my iPhone point. Your thought?
Well, that's a very large... How do you unravel that?
In 60 seconds or less. Well, the point is, we talk a good game.
I don't mean unravel the issue.
Yeah.
Let's assume you wanted to do that. How do you unravel that?
There are going to be a lot of goods that we're reliant upon that suddenly aren't going to be available to us.
By the way, a lot of Nike's goods
Sure.
that benefit the likes of Colin Kaepernick and LeBron James.
No doubt.
Made in China.
Yeah.
And those outspoken individuals, and in many cases, I think millions of Americans would agree with their positions on domestic issues, but they are conspicuously mum when it comes to China. And no matter what the issues are here, and they are serious issues, in terms of dimension, they pale alongside what's going on in China.